Alright, got called out here, 1998 E350 box truck, 5.4. They're complaining on this one here is that they could feel a misfire, and they were saying that they were losing communication with the scan tool when they were doing the testing with it. As of right now, it was just the key on engine off, though. You never seem to lose communication, and that was a tip off to me already. Car is diagnosed. I'm not going to lie to you guys, it's already diagnosed. I just want to show you, though, when we come in here and we do this, codes menu, when I got here, there was absolutely no codes in the system. Wait for it to do it. No communication right now. Interesting. Oh, did he knock me out? Hey, hold on. I think he knocked me out. No, that's the snap-on doing whatever the snap-on does. However, it just beeped. Let's see. Yeah, okay, there we go. It's establishing communication again to the scanner. I'm in the middle of doing the update on the Bosch, so I couldn't do that. And it's got no communication again right now, but odd that it's actually saying that because we had communication just a second ago. And unfortunately, the guy just hopped in here to move the truck around, and communication's definitely there, activity's there. Anyhow, no codes in the system there. It had a misfire, and when that misfire happened, and as I was watching that misfire happen, is when communication was actually dropping out. So I want to show you guys what we have here. Let's just see. Look at this. The weight of the snap-on sitting on the horn was enough to let you hear the misfire. Let's see if I can do that again. Cool. Alright, anyhow, so I'll show you guys what I did. There was no mode 6 data, there was nothing in there that was giving me any hint of a misfire. So what I did was set up 2 current clamps, and over here, really typical for Ford on these older ones, you'll have a red and light green wire that'll be the feed that comes down and actually feeds directly into the coils. And then the other one here, I just picked one of the coils that was out there, and I wanted to see at least one of the ones there so I could sync up and determine which cylinder was the actual misfire. So I'm going to bring this back out for a moment. And here is my sync. So we'll look at these individually, and we'll get a good picture of the coil so we can actually see what these coils are doing. And what I care about here is a couple of things. Turn on. Well, Paul did a couple of videos on these, just so you guys can go follow up with him. You'll see how he explains how these ignition coil turn-ons work. But you'll see a little bit of an oscillation here, and I can't seem to get rid of that flashing. I'm so sorry. But anyhow, let me scroll over there. Our firing order on this thing. Geez, you know what? It's on my phone that I'm using to record with. Well, 1372, I think it was. So that's 7. Here's cylinder 2. Take note of the fact that these two here are much lower after the main hit. And then I believe it was 6548. So that's 6, 5, 4, and that should be raising big red flags to you already. I'll zoom that in a little bit more. Let's get that back up here on the screen, a little bit easier to see. This is your typical shorted coil. Alright, and then we'll just screw it over to cylinder 8, but cylinder 8 is fine. Cylinder 8 has nothing wrong with it. There is a little progression of step down there on the coil, that's okay. Some of the aftermarket coils will do that, and this thing definitely has at least one aftermarket coil in it. But here is the culprit. When this shorts, when you get this short on the screen, and I was able to actually save it at almost the exact same time they're recording in a huge database. As you can see down here, I had a huge timeline. Can I zoom that out? I don't think it'll let me. Yep, there we go. But I saved quite a bit of time on the screen, and I waited till the scan tool actually dropped out communication, and this is what we saw was that. Come on now, get up there. Yeah, should have just grabbed the mouse out. But anyhow, We watched over here as that communication dropped out, though. We were pretty much able to figure out when the communication dropped out. So a small spike inside there. You guys saw the breakout box hooked up already on the data link connector. And during that time, there was a small voltage pulse that happened on the scan tool. Where I should say that reset the scan tool and showed up on the scope on the inside. I was not able to save that file. This thing barely even moves, but with that coil there, that's actually what was knocking out communication. So this is a simple one here. It's going to get two coils. It's going to get this one on cylinder 4, and then it's also going to get that one back there on cylinder 2. Again, take note, you can use that red line there as a reference. They stay about equal on amperage, but when you get over here and you start looking at some of these, some of that energy is going where the energy doesn't need to be. So here again, right near one, and see here, we're dropping down. That coil is starting to go. That's a coil right there that's actually starting to fail. So we will end up replacing two coils on this thing and being done with it. But in case you ever get a loss of communication, do not overlook coils. If it has a misfire, don't start chasing down, oh, loss of communication momentarily, computer, things like that. You know, it's going to be something that's